My biggest struggle in business so far hasn't been my business. It's been my discipline. It's been my focus. That's been my biggest challenge as a business owner. As I progress in my business, I start to see that a lot of these problems are more internal than external. I've curated my environment to progress, to be better, to remove distractions and focus on minimal things. I've removed lots of things in my room to clear my mind. And it helps, don't get me wrong. But it all came down to this. It's inside of me. That's where the change needs to be made. One of my biggest pet peeves is catching myself watching too much content. To be specific, short form content. Man, it's crazy. I visually see myself in third person scrolling on my phone and I get mad. I'm like, dude, come on, wake up. Let's get back to work. You know what you have to do. You start listing these things in your head, boom, 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 boom. And you still... I'm not against short form content when used correctly, when used properly. And we're all bound to fall. The thing is, when it becomes excessive, when you start to crave consumption, and this doesn't necessarily have to do with that all the time. It could be food. It can be the short form content. Those are probably the main things that I struggle with. I've got a couple texts. Let's turn this on work mode. You see, and the thing is once you lose focus, like I just did right now, y'all just witnessed that. Your mind gets pulled away from the main idea. And the main idea of this moment right now is to share this and project this idea to you. So the same way this just happened is the same way we just get sidetracked. And the more content we consume, the more ideas come to us, and they're not from a specific thing, they're just random. We all have that voice in our head that says, get back to work, get back to this, get back to that, and we refuse to listen to it. If you can relate to that, you know what I'm talking about. So I've come to realize a lot of the challenges that I face don't come from anything outside of me. Most of the time. It mainly comes from within, from my mind. There's this one saying that goes, you give life to whatever you give attention to. So rather than giving all of my attention in the right places, I pour them into a drain field and they just sink away. They go away and I never see that attention again. I've been telling myself I want to build my personal brand more and more. I want to build my business more and more. Those are like the main things. With the time I spend consuming a bunch of this content online, I could be pouring in to something greater, something that will bring value to other people and help them start their journey. And that's where I fall. You don't know if you're progressing and you don't know if you're backtracking. If you don't have a clear goal, if you don't have clarity. Having no destination has caused so much time wasted for me. I have to constantly rewrite my goals down on paper just to remind myself what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. That's an exercise that I recommend to anyone, is write some goals and rewrite them every other day. Just have them there, rewrite them. Don't just keep them on a paper and read them, rewrite them. Because when you rewrite them, you start to see which goals are actually important and you start to realize what you need to do to achieve them. You disrespect yourself every time you get distracted. In a way, you kind of do. I know it was kind of a bold statement, but you're kind of disrespecting yourself if you're not doing what you need to be doing. That's like when you're at a job and your boss says, go clean this up, and you do everything in your power to avoid it. You're disrespecting his word. So when you distract yourself from the main idea, just look at it in that way of like, I'm disrespecting myself. I'm doing everything in my power to feel productive, and I'm just cutting around what needs to be cut. But there's a root to all of this, you know? There's a root to all of this. And that's what you need to figure out. I've accomplished removing lots of things in my environment, lots of material things, lots of people, lots of music, to really narrow down what needs to be pulled out. What is the main thing pulling me away from what I need to be doing? And as you start to remove these things, you know, sometimes it's a sacrifice. Sometimes it hurts to take these things away. But then you get to this blank page and you start to see what stands out the most. And for me, it's consuming content, consuming food. It might not seem like it. I look like a pretty fit dude. I look like, you know, pretty put together. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Those are my two struggles. And that's after so much time. It used to be smoking weed. It used to be going out a lot. What else? It used to be eating out a lot. Those are just a couple things. There's probably more. But even removing those things, I came back to two things that have been pulling me away. And it's not that I want that to happen, it's because my body craves that as human, as a flesh. So, a couple things that have helped me progress. This is the best part that I want to share, that have helped me surpass these challenges and pretty much improve in these challenges, or improve in these areas of my life. First, confession. Confess where you go wrong. Confess that I done wrong. Accept it and move on. Confess it. Even if you keep doing it over and over, the more you repeat it verbally with your mouth and your tongue, you begin to give less power to it because you called it out. That's like the class clown. Let's call him Max. The teacher says, yo, Max, be quiet. You call him out and he's gonna be quiet. So the same way that works, the same way you have to call out your anxiety, you have to call out your stress, you have to call yourself out every time. That's the first thing. The next thing is narrowing your focus on just a few things. At max, 3 things. Your focus shouldn't be building your car, building a business, learning how to cook, learning how to read in Mandarin. No. There has to be 2 to 3 things to see the max progress that you can make in this time of your life. If you're 18, the faster you can get this concept down, the better. You have more energy. As you're like being 18, you have more energy. If you're already later in life, then it's even better if you just keep it low. So confession, narrowing down your focus. And the most important actually is meditating on God. Hear me out. I'm a child of God. If you're watching this video, chances are you're a child of God too. And I'm here to tell you that we're meant for more. God gave us 2 hands, 2 ears, 1 mouth, 2 eyes, a nose, a body that functions. God willing, everybody watching this video has those functions. And if you don't, God bless you, because you're doing amazing regardless. You're facing the biggest challenge. Most humans don't. So if you have all these parts, all these pieces in your body, remember that these are gifts from God. And if you don't use them properly, you're disrespecting God. Imagine that. And I tell you this with conviction because I feel that way sometimes. I feel like sometimes, due to my lack of drive, my lack of not getting up and doing something, I can feel like I'm disrespecting God. I feel shameful. But the only way to not feel that shame, the only way to not dwell in that guilt, is to get up and keep going and start using these things, start going after it. If you're an artist, if you're a student, if you're a construction worker, if you're a barista, no matter what you are, no matter what you do, you just gotta move, you just gotta do something. You gotta start learning, you gotta start thinking. And you begin to see what you're able to create. When you spawn in Minecraft, you don't spawn with anything, but you know what to get after. So that same method has to be applied in our life. We've been given the best tools. It's just up to us to make them work. Alright, that's pretty much it for this video. I just want to do a little recap of my biggest struggles as a business owner at 23. I definitely want to progress, and my desire to progress is a state of pain because I'm in a position that I need to grow. But that's good, pain is good. Pain equals progress. So anyways, I'll see you on the next one. Stay up and stay blessed. Let's get it.